Hi everyone in Counseling World. I just want to talk to you a bit about some of our skills. I've been looking at a few of your assessments, and my general comment on every assessment is micro skills, paraphrasing, summarizing. It's not as if that those skills are being used enough. Micro skills are really the tools we use. Although we know a lot of theories and like CBT theories, the ABC technique and all those techniques, we still need micro skills to build the rapport, to get the conversations going and also to get the conversation flowing. So that's why it's important that we know our micro skills. Now, this book by Ivy and Zalaquist is probably one of the best books you can get on the topic of micro skills. If you go through the book, and I challenge you for your next practical, before you attempt your practical, go through this. Check this out, especially paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is one of the best tools we can use, especially when you get stuck. Paraphrasing is a way to get unstuck. Peter Janetsky, the great counselor in Brisbane, always says that when in doubt, paraphrase. So when in doubt, when you don't know what to do next, what to talk to next, what to ask next, what to focus on next, paraphrase. Paraphrase is I repeat the last sentence that my client said. Let's say a client was talking about an issue she or he has with a child, and say that I don't understand your client would say to you something like, I don't understand my child, he is always upset, and that makes me want to be even more upset than him. So you'll say, oh, so you don't understand your child because he's always upset, and that will make you want to be more upset than him. And after that, you can just have a bit of silence. Normally after that, because your client heard you say that, your client will probably repeat that or continue the conversation by saying, yes, because I feel that I'm the adult and he or she needs to respect me, and that's why I get so upset. You see, without paraphrasing, your client would have just said that sentence, but without actually forcing your client into this conversation, your client will then, after he heard his words repeated back to him, he or she would then go and continue on that and explain a bit more. So especially chapter 6 of this book focuses on paraphrasing. Also, I want to ask you to also look at summarizing, especially at the end of your session. Maybe in the middle of the session is also good too. So let's just quickly recap on this. Let's just see what's happening, how you're feeling about this. Let's just make sure that I got it right. Let's make sure we are on the same page in this topic. So counseling is not just talking. Counseling is also using these tools, these techniques, and to be a good counselor is someone also that actually has mastered micro skills. So if you haven't read this book, I challenge you to get into reading it. I challenge you to actually focus on it. Focus especially chapter 6. Also, which is great, is chapter 7, which is called Reflection of Feeling. Because you need to reflect also and not only sit there. Because sometimes I look at practicals and the person that's the counselor actually just sits there and just basically goes through moves and basic. But being a counselor, you also have to focus on feeling. What's happening? How did you feel about that? Also, you as a counselor, what's happening in you? What are you experiencing when you're working with a client? Sometimes we experience different sort of things as a counselor. I'm not talking about the counter-transference issue. I'm talking about what normally happens with me when I counsel someone is, and they start to tense up or stress about something. I normally get pains in my shoulders, or my shoulders tense up, and I'll sometimes call my client on that and say, hey, I'm just experiencing tension in my shoulders. What's causing stress for you at this stage? And normally I'm right, because that's part of reflection of feeling. Also, what's happening for you as a counselor. And I also want to challenge you, go and do a bit of a search, go and do a bit of a look into not only micro skills, but a thing called macro skills. Macro skills are basically your gut feeling. And sometimes we do get those feelings. When you work with a client, they'll just start talking to you. Maybe in the first session you get this feeling, I know actually what is this issue. Although we as counselors won't go straight forward and say, hey, I know what's your issue and deal with that, because that's not what we do. But you journey with your client, and if you've got a gut feeling, maybe in a few sessions later you can actually just say, I want you to tell me a bit more about the way you grew up, or I want you to tell me about your dad or your mom or your sister or your brother. Maybe you feel that the issue lies there. Remember what Carl Rogers said, that the issue that the client normally comes with is not the issue. And that's something to think about, because sometimes they come with something which is very significant, but the real issue is something deeper than they bring. Maybe they come with you because they have issues with grief. And grief is something that we deal with, grief is something that we sit with, grief is something that we actually journey with our client on. But the other thing we need to do is, we actually sometimes get that gut feeling, but this grief is actually because of this person got remorse about maybe something that they did or didn't do for or to the person that they're grieving about. That would also be another journey for you to go. So there are two skills, micro skills and macro skills. And then the most important one, which I really want to see in practicals, is the macros. The micros, sorry, not the macros. The macros are great in practice counseling sessions too. I would love to see that. But the micro skills, I want to see paraphrasing. I want to see reflection of feeling. I want to see open questions and closed questions and summarizing. And also show emotion. Don't burst out in tears, but don't sit there without any emotion on your face. Please don't show disapproval, but show that you are there. Show a loving side, show a caring side. Don't just sit there. Be the counselor. Become the counselor. We don't teach. I don't like to teach people to become counselors. I would like you to make a person a counselor in everything that I show you and I teach you. So that's what I want you to do, is focus on micro skills. Focus on your paraphrasing. Even practice it when you speak to a friend. When your friend says something, you can just paraphrase that back. Don't do every single sentence, because that'll be just very weird. But sometimes when your friend says something, just paraphrase back and say, hey, so you tell me that Margaret went on holiday. And then I'll tell you the story about Margaret went on holiday. It's very awkward and weird if you don't have a friend called Margaret who went on holiday, but so you know what I mean. So just have an awesome time in this counseling journey. Read this book. Keep it as your bedside table book before going to bed at night, and especially chapter 6. Let's read this. Let's make this our own. And also, when you sit in your counseling practical session, relax. Take a deep breath. Enjoy it. Enjoy this journey. It's great to be a counselor. It's great to work with people. It's great to help people. So let's go and just go and be a great counselor out there. Go and change lives. But before we can do that, let's get the micro skills going and working for us.